Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Alaska Rural Homestead. We are gonna have a busy day ahead of us. We've got a lot on our plate, but we try the best we can to get videos out to you guys. Mark and I super busy around the farm trying to get up our NRCS high tunnel.
Oh yeah, that's been a chore, but a shout out to NRCS for the high tunnel. That's been a big boon for us. It's about halfway done, so we'll maybe give a clip of that, show you where we're at, and Michelle will be able to plant it soon, so we're pretty happy about that.
And Mark has been cutting some of the pipe for the NRCS fencing, which really saved us a ton of money. I can't tell you enough how much their programs have saved us. We've gotten now 2 free high tunnels, free fencing for our farm. They're going to help us pay for grazing our cattle that we're going to be putting out there. I just can't say enough, so please check out our other videos on the NRCS programs.
It's well worth your time, I'll guarantee that, especially if you're starting out as a small homestead.
So today I'm going to be harvesting some things around the homestead. We're going to be harvesting some of my herbs and flowers from the garden beds here, because soon I'll be pulling these out and getting ready for our fall crop. And I'm going to be taking you inside the high tunnel where I have some other things growing, but I'm not going to totally show you the high tunnel tour quite yet. It'll be in the next video or so. And I'm harvesting some wild roses. I'll be harvesting some yarrow, some bed straw, wild pineapple, calamine. So the best time to pick your flowers or your herbs is first thing in the morning when the flowers are just opening and the dew is dissipating. You want to make sure that you pick them first thing in the morning, because that's when they're going to be at their peak and they're going to have more flavor. Always try to make sure that they are pesticide free, whether you're harvesting roses or flowers or herbs. Always try to make sure that they are organic. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
One thing I just want to touch on real quick, if you're not familiar with the plant that you're harvesting, find somebody that is. Some of the plants look similar to each other and you just don't want to pick anything that might be harmful to you. But there's a lot of nature's bounty out here that we can pick and eat to add to a really yummy meal.
So there's 3 ways to pick your herbs. You can cut the whole stem off using scissors. You can pinch off the stems or branches like mint or basil, or pick the single leaves like for sage or whatnot. Alright, so anytime that I am harvesting my herbs or anything like that, I try to make sure that my shears are pretty clean, because I really try to avoid washing any of my herbs or flowers that I harvest because they go directly into the freeze dryer most of the time, and I try to flash freeze them a lot. So this is the German chamomile, and it is really known for its relaxing properties. It's great for tea. So we're going to get harvesting this, and I am just going to cut off these little pieces here. As you can see here, my bed is full of chamomile. Now I planted this, what was it, last year, so it does have a tendency to reseed itself wherever you plant it, sometimes where you don't plant it. But I'm going to get these harvested And I want to show you the wild pineapple seed that is really great for tea, and it looks really similar to the chamomile, and you can use it for tea. It's super great. I'm trying to cut these fairly quick just because I got a lot to do today, but we're pretty much going to be just snipping these off right here at the base. And we're just going to be using the flowers. Okay, so that's all I'm going to harvest today, because as these start opening up, I will harvest them off. So now we're going to start harvesting some of these violets. The violets are kind of super sweet. The leaves are edible also. They're great for cakes. They're great for many other things on the homestead that you can use them for. So one other thing that I haven't harvested, or I haven't picked out of my bed here, this is bed straw. This type of flower is a really fragrant flower. It can be used for teas. It dates back to BC, and it was often used back in the day. As the flowers would bloom, they become more fragrant. They would be collected for bed. That's why they called it bed straw. And they have these tiny little white flowers. But I will show you what it looks like a little bit closer up. We've got the lamb's quarter, and I'm not really fond of these, so I just kind of chuck them out. We've got our cabbages going here that are coming along nicely. Oh, and I've got some yarrow. Now this is not yarrow that I planted, but I like to get this into the freeze dryer also. I've got some marigolds here that I love to use that are kind of spicy. Sometimes you'll find marigolds almost have like a citrus kind of taste to them. I'm just cutting off the tops of these. Now the leaves are edible on the yarrow also. Okay, so and you can see here that I have got to go ahead and pull some of these because they have bolted and they're starting to go to seed. I've got a lot of stuff in here, and now I'm also going to be harvesting some fireweed today. Now, the fireweed is really edible. It's sweet. The whole plant is pretty much edible. You can eat the leaves. The stem here has a residue inside that's fairly sweet and edible. But I'm going to start collecting some of those too. I'm going to wait for that. Okay. This is wild plantain, and I'm going to pick some of this also because it is super great for bombs and whatnot on the homestead, and I'll try to explain that later. Alright guys, so this is baby. This is my Nigerian dwarf. I've had her for several years. She's had Pixie and Parker, and she's still in milk. So I get about half a gallon from her a day. I milk her twice a day. It's kind of a little treat, not only for us, but I give it to the piglets. The piglets are getting so big also, and they will be going to new homes. Baby is the sweetest. She has the sweetest personality and demeanor. You know, owning a homestead can definitely be challenging, but it is so rewarding, so worth the hard work. I've got one other goat. Now, we have downsized on the farm quite a bit, just because I have a lot on my plate. Goats have a super good memory. Baby will just run to the stand all by herself. She loves to get milked. Now, on the other hand, as you hear in the background, Penny. Penny is still in training. She's not a purebred Nigerian dwarf. So, I am trying to get every last bit of milk because the more you try to get out milk, the more they produce. Baby, she's super sweet. Okay. All right, so that's going to do it for Baby this morning. She's just about finished eating her grain. Now I've got to move on to Penny. So this is Penny. I know you've seen her in some of our other videos. She's a little bit bigger now. Now she has had her first kids this spring, and she is in training. I do everything that I do with Baby except for milk her right now, because I don't want to really take any milk from her while she's feeding the kids. But I try to do everything that I normally would do with a milking goat. Because everything with goats is repetition. They have an awesome memory, and they know where the milking stand is. These rose petals are a great little treat to eat, and the darker they are, like this one is much brighter. This one is much more pink, and it's going to be a little more sweeter. It's going to have a little more of the rose essence because it hasn't fully opened yet, whereas these ones are not quite as sweet, and they've lost a little bit of the rose essence. So here is our strawberry spinach. The great thing about this strawberry spinach is that the plant is completely edible, and they taste like strawberry, and they can be used as a dye for fabric. And it is part of the spinach family, and it is super easy to grow, and it's heat tolerant, and you can grow it in the poorest of soil. And I have never made jelly with this, but I've been told that it's really great for jelly also. Strawberry jelly, strawberry jam. Now the strawberry spinach does have kind of a unique flavor. So the more water you give your strawberry spinach, the bigger the strawberry seed bulbs are going to get. Now this is a plant that will reseed itself. Now we're also going to be harvesting, this is my lemon balm right here. I'm going to really cut back on these because I want to try to get several cuttings off of them. And this lemon balm is so great for you. The smell of this lemon balm is just amazing. As you can see, I have straw down. Now this is straw that I have pretty much aged, that I have kept in my high tunnel, and you know, over the years the germination rate, if there's any
less
seeds
likely
in
to
there,
germinate.
Okay, so we got some in our basket. I think that's going to be it for now on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and harvest my basil. Now again, I'm going to be harvesting a lot of this. I'm going to really cut back on it quite a bit because I want it to get much bigger. And anytime that you trim and cut back on your plants, you're going to cause it to produce more. And I just noticed I had a lamb's quarter growing in here, but we are not harvesting that right now, so I'm just going to put that aside. Okay, now this is my dragon balm. It kind of tastes like lemon balm. You can use it just like lemon balm. These are going to go to Fiona and Shrek as a little treat. Now we'll get this put in the freezer. Okay, so I just put these on a cookie sheet. I spread them really nice and thin. Now I did not wash these. You could if you're worried about bugs or anything like that. But these are going into the freezer to get flash freezed. Alright guys, so I found some bed straw to show you. It's a little after 9 o'clock at night and it's starting to really cool off. You can see the dew kind of settling in the fields. But I found some bed straw to show you. It is a really fragrant perennial, and here is the amazing bed straw. The stem is really woody, and it's kind of almost like a square stem. And it's got little grooves in the top, 3 little grooves. And the leaves are really long. It's amazing healing properties when made into a tincture, or you could use it for lotions. is the wild pineapple weed that I had mentioned earlier, and it really does look similar to the calamine. It smells amazing. You can collect the flower heads and make a nice winter tea. All right, everyone. Well, that's going to do it for this video. It's starting to get late, and I've probably done enough harvesting for today. So anyways, I hope you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Bye now.